Hello to everyone. This is Shantan Kumar, Assistant Professor, Department of Mathematics, Institute of Aeronautical Engineering College, Dundigal, Hyderabad. The subject is matrices and calculus. The topic we are going to discuss today, the double integral. That means under the double integral in Cartesian coordinates, whenever the limits are not given, like sometimes in the previous lectures we discussed clearly, whenever the limits are constants is given, how to find the solutions, and again whenever the limits are variable, then how to find the limits, how to find the double integration. But today class we are going to discuss whenever the limits are not given, then how to find the limits, and after finding the limits, then how to find the solution. That is the concept of today we are going to discuss under the double integral in Cartesian coordinates area enclosed by plane curve. That means sometimes giving the planes or curves, then with the help of the plane curves, then how to find the values, and again after finding the values and variables, then we need to find the solutions under the double integrations. That means the double integral in Cartesian coordinates area enclosed by the plane curves. See, under the double integral, this is the meaning of under the multiple integral, that is more than a single integral, that is a double and triple, the double integration we are going to discuss. That is whenever the limits are not given, how to find out. That based upon we need to remember the strips parallel to x-axis, the strips parallel to y-axis, the division of the region. What is the meaning of all these things? That means with the help of the given curves, while we are going to find out the limits in terms of variable and constants, we need to understand what is a variable like the x-axis, what is the meaning of the y-axis, what is the meaning of the division of the region. Now we'll go to discuss the strips parallel to x-axis, the strips parallel to y-axis. With the help of these is the concept only, we need to find the variable. For example, procedure to find the double integral over the general region. Here what is the meaning of this? If we want to find the value of given double integral over the general region in the Cartesian coordinates, that CC is nothing but that is a Cartesian coordinates, we follow the following steps. Generally, whenever the limits are not given, then how to find the variables, limits or something, any other limits. That means how to take that parallel to x-axis or y-axis, that is the procedures. First one, with the help of the given curves. Sometimes x plus y is equal to 1, y square is equal to 4ax, like that. Any equations are like that, any plane curve. That is the meaning of draw all the curves and identify required region. That is the meaning of, as we know that y square is equal to like that parabola, and y square is equal to minus 4ax, and x square is equal to 4ay, and x square is equal to minus 4ay, and y is equal to x, and again y is equal to mx plus c, and x plus y is equal to 1. Like these are the some equations like the plane curve. And plane curves based upon the given in equations, we need to draw all the curves and identify the required region. And second step, that means find the points of the intersection of all the curves if it is required. That is the meaning of after draw the diagram of with the help of the given plane curve, we need to identify where it is intersecting the points. That is the meaning of find the points of intersection of all the curves if it is required. That based upon the getting the points, we need to find out if it is possible. And next one, take the strip parallel to x-axis or y-axis. That means after finding the draw the diagram, after finding the points, we need to take the strip is either parallel to x-axis or parallel to y-axis. That we need to discuss in the next slides. How to find out that is a parallel to x-axis and what is the meaning of parallel to x-axis and how to draw the diagram, and similarly parallel to y-axis also. And next one, if it is required, sometimes it is required, divide the region into two parts. That based upon the given curve, sometimes it is only bounded region is a single, and boundary region is two parts that depend upon the given equations. Sometimes like y is equal to x and y is equal to x plus y is equal to 2 and y square is equal to 4x. That such type of the particular problems, while we are facing the draw the diagram and finding the intersecting points, we need to get that partitions are also required. And based upon the partitions of the curve, we need to find the solution. And after that, find the limits of inner integral from the strip. That means with the help of the given curve, what is the inner strip, and after that, what is the outer strip. That means depend upon the parallel to x-axis and parallel to by taking the y-axis, we need to identify what is the inner, what is the outer. That means inner is always the nearest to the origin, the outer is the far away from the origin. That is the meaning of inner strip, and also that is the outer strip. And based upon this one, again we need to calculate the example as the example of the double integral. These are the one by one step we need to remember at the time of given the limits are like that, curves or something, whatever it may be. We need to understand these are the fundamental concept. According to first one is to draw the curve and again find the points intersection and take the strip parallel to x-axis or y-axis, and if it is required, then divide the region and find the inner, find the outer. These are the one by one steps we need to remember while we are going to discuss under this is the problem. And before going to discuss the problem, again we need to remember what is the meaning of the strip parallel to x-axis, and also what is the limit of the inner integral part. That based upon this together we need to discuss now. And here, for example, this is the diagram. While we are going to observing in this diagram, that is nothing but from the given any cast, while we are going to draw the diagram, if we get this is the bounded the region, that means it is a bounded to the region. For example, if it is assumed, and in this here it is a intersecting A to B is starting, and again upper is a it is a B to C is the bounded. That means it is a x is the inner is a near to origin, that is A, and outer is near to origin, far away from the origin, that is a BC. That means the near is the A to B, and again the y limits are y is equal to C to D, and D upper limit is C to D is the condition. That is the meaning. And similarly, that is the meaning of if you take the strip parallel to x-axis, that means always the x-axis is nothing but that is a horizontal. And in this horizontal, the inner part is, for example, this is the horizontal. In this horizontal, the inner is this left side, the outer is the right side. That means while we are going to observing this one, the left side is this is the part, the outer is this is the part. That means x is the inner is the x-axis, means that is a parallel like x-axis. That means left is a x and right is a that outer, and this is nothing but x-axis. Therefore, that is a consider x is the limits and outer is the x is the limits. That means x is equal to g of y, that other is a x is equal to h of y. And next we coming to point that is a y limits. That y is inside and again y is a outside. That is a y is inside is the lower part is C, the outer part is D is a condition. And based upon such type of this simple logic we need to discuss. And again here curve at starting point of P of strip gives the lower part, that is inner part is x is equal to c of y, that is inner part, and again the outer part is h of y is a conditions. This is the meaning of x is equal to, while we are going to take the strip is a parallel to x-axis, that is the meaning of x is inside, that outside is a x value. That means we need to treat while we are going to take the symmetrically x-axis, x limits are y, and again y limits are in the constants. And again similarly, for example, if we take the parallel to x-axis and rest of the thing y is equal to c, and again the y is equal to upper limit is d is a condition. And based upon this one, for example, that is x limits are in g of y and upper limit is x is equal to h of y, then integrating with respect to that is a dx, and after integrating with respect to dy. For example, sometimes x is equal to like that clearly, y is equal to d upper limit. For example, Now strips parallel to y-axis and finding the limit inner of the integral. And what is the meaning of this one? While we discussed in the previous, that is under the x-axis in the previous session, like in the previous class, it is like for example boundary region in the parallel to x-axis means like this is the condition. Now it is not a parallel to x-axis, it is a parallel to y-axis. The parallel to y-axis is nothing but, for example, same the bounded region whatever it may be, we need to take the strip is like according to parallel. That is a y. Y means y-axis. That means inner is this is the y, the outer is this is the y. And next one, the x limits. The x limits is left side this one and again right side is like this. That is the meaning of here. We need to understand based upon this is clearly the diagram here. While we are going to observing this one, it is a bounded region is this one, and in this it is a parallel to like y-axis is nothing but like according to like this. And again we need to consider parallel to y-axis. That inside is this is the part of inside is the lower side, the outer is that is a part. That is the meaning of here lower or inner, the outer is that is the external. And based upon this one, we need to find out what is the y in terms of that is x, that is a z of x, and again the upper is y is equal to h of x is a condition. And again here that lower limit is y is equal to g of x and upper limit is y is equal to, and again based upon this one the x limits are x is equal to a and the upper limit is x is equal to b, and based upon this one we need to find the integration with respect to first is a parallel to y means y in terms of x is a lower. That is clearly what is the meaning of y is equal to, it is a lower curve, and again the upper curve is what is the upper curve, that is h of x, and again here it is in terms of x means we need to integrate it with respect to y, and after with respect to x is the condition. This is the some remember the points while the given functions are under the limits functions are given based upon that our choice, either we need to take the parallel to y-axis or take the parallel to x-axis. That depend upon our choice. We need to take any one of the strip, either the parallel to x-axis or y-axis. Then we need to draw the diagram and find the points also. For example, division of the range. And the division of the range means whenever the function is draw the diagram of like this. And again in this bounded region is particularly this is the bounded region, and again here while we are going to take either the parallel to x-axis for example like this, and again it is only the left side is a first curve and again the right curve is a second curve. But at the time of this horizontal parallel to x-axis it is no problem. But while we are going to discuss like a particular parallel to y-axis, it is these are the two partitions are required because of the lower part is it is on the x-axis, but the upper part is here on the this right side circle, the left side is a left side circle. And based upon this one, it is not possible to find that it is a parallel to x-axis. Like parallel to x-axis is possible, but the parallel to y-axis it is not possible. And at the time of this parallel to y-axis, we need to inside that is divide the regions. The divide the region is nothing but based upon this one, we need to split into the two parts. One is the left side, one other is the right side. And based upon the left side is the R1 region, and based upon the R2 region, again we need to find out first one is the R1 region with the help of the lower limit is that is particularly the upper curve is the right side circle. And after that calculation, we need to find out the R2 region, and in this also the lower curve is a lower part on the x-axis. The upper curve is on the left side of the circle. That means it is the left side of the circle. Like this, by taking that finding the limits, that is R1 and also R2, then we need to find out. And after that, we need to addition of R1 plus R2 is a 2 condition. This is the clear meaning of the condition. For example, while we are going to observing in this slide also, for example, draw the diagram. It is a bounded region is giving the shadow of this one, and in this it is a parallel to y-axis, it is possible because of while we are going to take any place that parallel to y-axis is only in the single region. That is a lower part is on this circle, this line, and again the upper line is like this. But at the time of the horizontal, it is not possible because of while we are going to take that horizontal strip here, for example, if we are going to take the horizontal from here to here, this is the portion. That means the left side is on the y-axis, the right side is on this lower curve line only. But whereas if you are going to take that, it is under the like above the portion, it is the left side is on the upper line, and again the right side of the curve is on the second line of the parallel to y-axis. And based upon this one, we need to take according to here, that is the meaning of like this clearly showing. And based upon this one, it is we need to draw that inside of the curve, that is a line, it is dividing into two parts. One is a lower part, that is R1, and again upper part is R2. And based upon that, we need to find out that lower part is R1 and R2 is upper part. And again, after finding individually, then we need to addition of R1 and R2, then find the solution. For example, we need to see this problem. Evaluate the double integration e power of 2x plus 3y into dx dy, where R is a triangle bounded by x is equal to 0, x is y is equal to 0, and x plus y is equal to 1. And what is the meaning of this? When we are observing this problem, it is not given the limits, given that equation and point wise. And at the time of this one, we need to do the problem under the double integration with respect to dx dy. Where we are observing the previous sessions, the limits are given directly constants, the limits are given the variables, then we discuss clearly. But here, it is not possible to find that directly. Then how to find out? That means based upon the given limits, one is x is equal to 0 and y is equal to 0, and other one is a line, that is x plus y is equal, that is a 1, and with the help of these three together, we need to draw the curve. That means find out where it is a bounded region. And before going to discuss the region, we need to keep in our mind, according to right side we discuss, that is a draw all the curves and find the intersection and find the parallel to x-axis or y-axis and required to divide the region and find the limits of inner and lower, and again find the limits of x-axis and calculate the example. This is the working rule we need to remember. While the problem is not given the limits directly, that means the limits, constant limits are not given, the variables are not given, and it is given such type of these are the equations. If we keep in our mind what is the procedure for this one, and based upon, first of all, we need to draw the diagram, and by draw the diagram of according to the first one, that is by solving that x plus y is equal to 1 and x is equal to 0 and y is equal to 0. Here 1 is a 0 0, that diagram is like this, because of here it is a x plus y is equal to 1 is a equation. Here if it is x is equal to 0, then y is equal to 1, and y is equal to 0, then the solving that x is equal to 1 only. That means x is equal to 0, y is equal to 1 is intersecting 0 comma 1, and again here y is equal to 0 and x is equal to 1 is intersecting 1 comma 0. That means with the help of that x plus y is equal to 1, you obtain intersecting are 0 comma 1 and 1 comma 0. Therefore, by the draw the diagram, that is 0 comma 1, 1 comma 0. This is the meaning of it is x plus y is equal to 1 is a line. And again here bounded region is clearly by the shadow of the place. That means it is clearly bounded the region. Based upon this bounded region, it is a region is over, and again the points are also over. Next our target is either we need to take the parallel to x-axis or parallel to y-axis. For example, while we are going to take the parallel to x-axis. And what is the meaning of this parallel to x-axis? According to what we discussed in this session, in the previous problem, like before this problem, the theoretically, if it is a parallel to x-axis, we need to understand what is the x limits, what about the y limits. And x limits are, that is in this, the inner limit is the left side, the outer limit is the right side. That means according to while we are going to observing in this parallel to x-axis, that is x is on the 0, and again x the outer find out. While we are going to finding that x outer limit, that is upper limit, it is based upon, it is a line is, that line is based on the line, that is x plus y is equal to 1. That means here x is equal to 0, that upper second one is x plus y is equal to 1. From this x plus y is equal to 1, the limits are x is equal to, that means x plus y is equal to 1. We need to find out x is equal to 1 minus y. Therefore, here the limits are, that is x is equal to, the lower limit is 0, and again that upper limit is 1 minus y, and again the upper limit, second one, the y limits are, from y limits are, that is 0, and again y limits are, it is a 1 value. Because of it is a 0, that upper limit is 1 is a value. And based upon this one, while the problem is given, that is in a variable like that x, like equation like the format, based upon like simple example like this, we need to draw the diagram, and after draw the diagram, we need to identify where it is intersecting the bounded region, and based upon that, we need to take that our choice based upon the parallel to x-axis or parallel to y-axis. But in this, I took that is a parallel to x-axis, and based upon that inner is left side, the right side is outside. The inner is left side is on that x is equal to 0. The outer is, the curve is x plus y is equal to 1. From that, x is equal to 1 minus y is the upper limit. The rest of the limits are, y's limits are inside is 0, and the outside is that is 1. And based upon this one, we need to integrating here, x limits are 0 to, that is x is equal to 0 to 1 minus y is nothing but, it is first we need to integrating with respect to x, and after that with respect to y is the conditions. And again, as we know that how to find the integration with respect to x and y, and again in the previous session we discussed clearly, first integrating with respect to x and after with respect to y. After getting that, we obtain the solution is clearly, the solution is any conditions. Now the same problem, for example in this one, I took that parallel to y. Parallel to y means it is like from here according to vertical, and again here y is equal to, the lower limit is 0, the upper limit is on the curve. The curve is nothing but x plus y is equal to 1. From this, y is equal to 1 minus x. Because of it is x plus y is equal to 1 means y is equal to 1 minus x. Therefore, here the lower limit is y is equal to 0 to 1 minus x, upper limit is 1 minus x, and y is equal to, the rest of the limits are x is equal to 0 to 1. The 0 is the left side, 0 is the left side, the right side is x is equal to 1. Now we need to integrating, we get the solutions. Here the solution is clearly, this is a simple, what we shown in the previous, that is based upon the, it is a horizontal, and again it is a parallel, this is a parallel to x-axis, and above first one is a parallel to y-axis. The final solution is 1 by 6 into e minus 1 whole square into 2e plus 1 is a final solution. And similarly, like according to, like same this problem. Yeah, for example this one, evaluate double integration xy into x plus y into dx dy, and here also the problem is not given the directly limits, not given the variable anything, but here given the directly equation format or curves like that. And here what it is that, the one is the equation is y is equal to x, that is a line, and y is equal to x square is a parabola. As we know that what type of the parabola, y is equal to x square, and other curve is y is equal to x also, as we know that. And here first we need to follow the instruction like the procedure, draw all the curves and identify the required region, and again find the points intersection, and again the final take the strip parallel to x-axis or y-axis, and again find out whatever the limits of the inner, whatever the limits of the outer, and find the calculation. That means whatever we require the procedure, we need to find the all the conditions from the given equations. You need to draw the diagram and find the curves and bounded the region, and again intersecting, and after that we need to follow that either parallel to x-axis or parallel to y-axis. Now we need to discuss. For example, while we are going to draw the diagram, here the diagram should be, it is clearly that by solving the problem y is equal to x square and y is equal to x, here intersecting points are 0, 0 and 1, 1. The diagram should be according to like this. That means y is equal to x square is according to the parabola and y is equal to x is the straight line. And in this one, while we are going to discuss either the parallel to y-axis or parallel to x-axis, it is, for example, if it is considered parallel to y-axis. And the meaning of parallel to x-axis, parallel to y-axis, it is a vertical shape. And based upon the vertical shape, the meaning is here, it is we require to find out the y limits, lower side, and again the upper limit is y limits. The lower limit is y is based upon the y is equal to x square, and upper limit is based upon the y is equal to x. Based upon this understanding, here the double integration is double integration y is equal to the lower limit is x square, the upper limit is y is equal to x, and again the x limits are x is equal to the left side is intersecting 0, the upper side is x is equal to 1. For example, it is below side, the diagram is same, but here if it is consider the parallel to, that is symmetrical about the horizontal, that is x-axis, that means it is the inner part is that y is equal to x and outer part is that is on the y is equal to x square. That means x is equal to root y. Therefore, based upon this one, if it is consider the lower limit is x is equal to y and x is equal to root y and y is equal to the lower limit is 0, the upper limit is 1, then by taking this one, we need to find the solutions. That means it is clearly mentioned that it is y is equal to x square and x square is equal to x is equal to 0 to 1. By solving this, you get the solution. While we are going to observing in the below the x is equal to y, the upper limit is root y, and x is equal to 0, the upper limit is y, 1. The solution is there is no changes. That means from the given any curves, while we are going to draw the diagram, after the draw the diagram, we need to find out the solutions like intersecting points. While we are going to take again the parallel to y-axis, parallel to y-axis, x-axis or y-axis, our choice, and based upon by taking any parallel to strip, we get the same solution. For example, same, it is also under this one, there is no difference, but the solution is 3 by 56. For example, this one. Evaluate double integration y into dx dy, and where R is the region bounded to the area between y square is equal to 4x and x square is equal to 4y. And here also the problem is not given directly any limits, constants and variable, here given the curves. And based upon the curves, according to given the procedure, we need to draw the diagram based upon the given curves and find the points and intersecting, identify the region, and after that we need to take that any parallel to x-axis or parallel to any y-axis. Based upon that, we need to find the equations, solutions and find the solutions. And here while we are going to observing this one, it is y square is equal to 4x and x square is equal to 4y. That means y square is equal to 4x is also a parabola and x square is equal to 4y is also other parabola. Based upon the two parabolas, while we are going to draw the diagram, here clearly it is the diagram should be according to like one is like it is a parallel to y-axis, the other side is like parallel to y-axis is nothing but the lower side is that intersecting y is equal to x square by 4, the upper side is y is equal to 2 root x. And similarly, based upon this one, the x limits are intersecting x equal to 0, the upper limit is 0, x is equal to 4. And based upon this one, by taking first y in terms of x is nothing but integrating with respect to y, and after with respect to dx, then we get the solution is 48 by 5. And other side, The problem is the diagram is should be same. While we are going to draw the diagram, it is a parallel to x-axis, that is a parallel to x-axis, that is a inner strip is x, that is from that curve x is equal to y square by 4, and again the upper curve is x is equal to 2 root y, and y limits are 0 to 4, and again that means first we integrating with respect to x and after with respect to y, then the solution it is also there is no change. That means depend upon that any like given equations, first of all we need to concentrate on the given limits. If the all the limits are constants or not, or anyway any limits are variables, if it is a constants no problem, the variables that depend upon the choice depend upon the variable, but here the limits are not given, the limits are depend upon the given curves are given, we need to draw the diagram, and based upon the diagram we need to draw the diagram, and after that finding that intersecting the points with the help of the points, and again where it is a bounded region, and again based upon our choice either the parallel to y-axis or parallel to x-axis, then you need to take the limits with respect to variable and points, we need to find the solution. And again similarly, like any number of problems are given, we need to follow according to this is the procedure. Yeah, similarly any problems are given, we need to follow the conditions. Like number of problems are available, we need to draw the diagram, and again we need to find the solution. Like any problems are given, we need to follow. Here number of problems are available, we need to see that, and again any problems are facing, we need to give the reply. And again similarly, like the concept is we need to remember, understand based upon the today schedule, like a today class we clearly understood whenever the limits are not given directly, that means the variables are like functions or curves are given, we need to how to find the solutions that depend upon the equations, we need to draw the diagram, and again the diagram should be depend upon the given finding the points, and again with the help of the points you need to draw the diagram. Not diagram is not only important, and after draw the diagram we need to identify where it is bounded the region, and based upon the bounded region we need to understand clearly either we need to assume that parallel to x-axis or parallel to y-axis, and based upon the parallel to x-axis means horizontal, parallel to y-axis is nothing but it is a vertical, and based upon together we need to find out if it is a parallel to x-axis integrating with respect to x, and if it is a parallel to y-axis, if it is a constant, then integrating with respect to y. And again sometimes we discuss clearly the limits are it is not possible to like parallel to x-axis or not parallel to y-axis. Sometimes it is dividing partitions, and based upon the partition like r1 and r2 region we need to find the solutions, and after that addition of r1 and r2 such type of the cases, then you addition of the two cases, then find the solutions. This is a clear information regarding under the double integration whenever the equations are given, how to find the solutions by using the parallel to x-axis and parallel to y-axis. Thank you.
Like, share and subscribe. Hit the bell icon for more updates.